Welcome to our Travel Talk Tuesday Livestream and podcast, where we explore destinations through conversations. On each one, we'll cover a place that we've spent time in, share some tips, some of our adventures and perspectives, and answer your travel questions. Tonight is all about Portugal's Algarve region. It's adventurous, full of action.
This is Melissa.
It's the Algarve.
This is Melissa.
Hello, and this is Chris.
Hey, Melissa, do you want to tell everybody about what you're wearing just to like kick off everything on a positive note?
I bought this in the Algarve.
There she is.
From kind of a vendor outside.
Yeah, you were like, I think you were like, what's
Me
that?
and Aunt Pat were shopping.
Yeah. Were you guys negotiating, haggling?
No, I didn't do any negotiating.
No haggling. Actually, you know what? People that might know a lot about Portugal, because I didn't experience haggling in Portugal. Did you?
No, I didn't try it.
I don't think that's kind of a setup there. But anyway, yeah, good job. And I'm wearing this because we'll get to that later. I did not get that in Portugal. All right. You want to give a little bit of background about who we are in case the people watching are brand new?
All right. We started our travel channel on YouTube 5 years ago.
Yeah, now over 5 years ago.
Well,
right?
yeah, over 5 years ago. We've traveled to 14 different countries. How many different states?
You know what? I wasn't prepared for that. You threw me a curveball, and now I've got the look in my eyes like a deer, like I see whatever. What is this saying? Like a deer headlights?
Deer in headlights.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I can't even talk. Okay.
We've been together for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Married for 5.
Yes.
More than 5 now.
Hasn't it been the greatest 10 years and 5 years ever?
I think so.
It has. We lived in Canada for a year, and that was a ton of fun. We lived in 12 cities and 12 different months. No, 12 cities in 12 months. That was hard, but Melissa loved it. We lived in Ireland for 3 months.
I loved that.
Yes, that was cool. That was very much a cool experience. And we actually lived in Portugal for almost 2 years, really close to like 2 years. And so that we've got a very unique perspective on the Algarve region.
Right. That's the first place that we lived in Portugal, and we were there for about 6 months.
Yeah. So yeah, we have a lot of experience there. Where are we now?
We are now in Minnesota, in the Minneapolis area.
Yeah, and we've been here about
since May.
Since May. So yeah. And what do we do?
I am a travel advisor. And what do you do, Chris?
Well, I have a normal job that's in the software business world, and then I help with this travel channel that we have. And then I have my own little guitar channel. So if you like music, you could go check that out. But it's kind of goofy. And I'm not that good of a guitarist. So
he's a good guitarist. And a goofball. Yeah,
okay, that's true. So please let us know where you guys are in this world. We'd love to hear from you. This is a very interactive podcast live stream. And we a lot of times get a lot of information about the destinations that we didn't even know because of the people that come to these live streams, right?
Right. So that's why we use the word conversations in our intro instead of just ask us questions and we're going to be your experts. We feel that having conversations is more beneficial.
Oh, yeah.
Ask us questions if you have them. But if you also know something that we don't, chime on in.
And really, to be like a travel expert, it's impossible to get to know every location in the world. You know what I mean?
How much do you know about Minnesota?
Well, I think I know a lot, but I don't know if I
How many years have you lived in Minnesota?
See, that's a tough question. See, I'm already failing since 9th grade, 8th grade. So I don't know how, 30 some years. See, it's easy for you because you are just your age.
I just subtract 2. No, I subtract 3 now.
You just have to be good at basic math. That's all. It's very difficult for me. All right.
Okay. Now that we've covered Chris's math challenges, shall we move on to some travel and where folks are coming in
I'm
from?
sure people were leaning in. More math, please. More math.
I want to see where people are coming in from.
Okay. Well, let's jump over to comments. We've got Gary's tours. Gary, we've heard from Gary a lot. He's awesome.
Oh, and he's in Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania.
Oh, here, let me show that. Here's Gary.
Somewhat cold the last 2 weeks, 50 degrees Fahrenheit in Killarney today. Oh, that would be nice. And he is writing 2 guidebooks of Ireland, the Top Secret Guidebook of Ireland, Part 1.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Cool. I know he's done, like, you guys should look him up because he's got a YouTube channel and he does have a ton of Irish content. So
right, and it's called Gary's Tours.
Yeah,
so easy to find. You can see it right there.
Just Google Gary's Tours. It should come up. We've also got Eamon. I think they've made it to every single one of our live stream podcasts.
Yes, he has, and he is coming from Ireland.
Oh yeah. And then Tamara.
No, is it Tamara or Tamara? Just took a shower and letting my hair dry when your live popped up. We live 30 kilometers from Lisboa, near Torres Vedras. Question: where do you recommend visiting in the Algarve? Faro, no harbors.
Well, we're going to get into that. So
I recommend a road trip, most of all.
Yeah. So let's get into that. And then maybe we can swing back around and maybe answer more specifically after we get through all of our content.
Yes. And
that way we get warmed up too. You know how you kind of have to get warmed up to a location and all the memories come back?
Yes.
Because it's been a while. Oh, okay. And then
watching from Milford, Connecticut. Ooh, awesome. And then Steve Williams is popping in from Santa Cruz, California.
All right. Anybody else watching? Let us know where you're from or where you're at right now. I think that's about it, Melissa.
All righty.
Should we go back to some of the things we're going to cover here?
You are steering, sir.
All right.
We have this great tech setup on this end, and Chris clicks on things that we know where we're at.
Yeah,
and he sets it all up. So sometimes it's a mystery to me.
No, you should be.
And then sometimes I start talking about things I shouldn't.
Yeah, you do.
Why are you doing that?
Rush ahead.
All right.
Sometimes.
So the language. Rushing ahead.
All right. So we like to go over travel basics. If you've come and watched this every single week, you're probably like, come on, guys, I already heard this. But we need to talk about it because every place you go has a little bit different travel basics that you need to know. Okay. So the Algarve, Portugal. Portuguese is the primary language in Portugal. We did find that there was a ton of English in the Algarve region.
Oh, yes. Lots of Brits visit the Algarve region.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of Americans. A ton of expats are in that region of Portugal. So there was a lot of English. Every now and again at the grocery store, not so much. But for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part, it was pretty easy to communicate. For the most part.
Correct. And then should we do just a couple words or no?
No.
Now. All right.
Obrigado. Okay. Melissa likes to talk about the hair tools. Okay.
Don't bring them. Don't even bother. There's no point. They either won't work or they'll create an outage in your Airbnb or wherever you're staying. It's just problems. Typically at the hotels and Airbnbs or wherever you're staying or Verbos, they will have hair dryers on hand. Otherwise, go to a Fnac. It's a popular electronics store.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a couple of, it was Fnac and what was the other one? It started with a W, Wharton's.
Yeah, Wharton, yeah, yes.
Go to one of those and you'll be able to find a hair dryer that will work.
Yes. Adapters needed. Oh, yes.
So and power adapter. Look today.
At this. You want one of these guys here? Now, the places she just rattled off, you can get these kind of adapters at. Definitely the Whartons. That was definitely, they have those. So you can get them when you get there, but certainly if you get them before you go, then you don't have to worry about it.
And next up,
money.
Euros.
Yes, euros. They use the euro there. My aunt and uncle visited, and my uncle, who's like 70, I think he's 70, he tried to, give a dollar bill to somebody, and they're like, no, I don't want it. But he wanted to give it to them, but they just did not accept it. So I did find that most places took cards. So the cards that we had that worked internationally would work. We could make purchases off of our debits cards that were based in the States. So that was nice.
Right. Some souvenir shops and local vendors and hair salons do not accept card payments. Bring your cash.
Yeah. So you want a little bit of cash. What to wear? That really depends on the season there. It's a very nice climate in the winter months in terms of it doesn't get that cold, but it gets a little chilly. So you definitely want some sweatshirts and things like that and slacks to wear for the most part, either throughout the day and definitely in the evening. It does rain sometimes, not a
Yeah.
ton, but they do go through periods of rain. So, you want some more rain gear if you're going to be there over the winter months. Now, we weren't there during the summer months, except for we went there for a weekend just before summer kicked off. It gets really hot down there. And so it's, we're, think about the hot.
And one thing as far as when it is a bit colder, it's that it's cold inside. Maybe not at posh hotels, but if you're staying in a vacation rental, it does get cold in those houses. It's just like with the way they're insulated for the hot of summer or the heat of summer. They're not insulated for the cooler, damper weather.
Yeah. So it's tile floors, not a lot of carpets or anything like that, and usually because of the humidity, right? And things like that. So, yeah.
Just things to consider. Cozy socks.
There's lots of information out there and to help you, but certainly if you have questions about it, ask us. In terms of transportation, when you get there, the Algarve is a large area. I think it's probably beneficial to rent a car if you're hoping to see a lot of the different places. We did find Uber was available when we were there. There is some public transportation. There are definitely buses that we did not try to handle. There's not a lot in that area, not a lot of trains that I noticed going between the Algarve locations. There might be, but...
Like if you were trying to go from Albufeira to Lagos, you can take a train there. And you could
And Faro.
You might be able to get to Sagres. I don't know that. And Sagres is at the end of the world. So then you're getting as far as you can go. But I would have to double check that detail. But really, you're the one who always drives. But as a passenger, it felt very much like being on American roads in that area. And I did drive a very little bit, as in like, I don't know, maybe half a mile to a mile.
You did?
To the grocery store a few times while we were there. Impressive. It's the only place I've driven in Europe.
I should have put that picture in here.
And so that's right. Yeah. I sent proof that I hadn't damaged myself or the car. But I think it's a very comfortable place to drive.
Yeah, it is. It is. So now we were there also when it wasn't super busy. So I do think the traffic gets crazier in the touristy areas just because it's the spot to go in the summertime for so much of Europe.
Right. When we were there, we lived in Albufeira, and in the winter time, I think the population's around 30,000. There's tons of grocery stores, tons of infrastructure, and that all exists because it grows to a population of, was it over 100,000? Is it like 300,000? I mean, it was a big crazy
jump. It was a big jump. We did a video on it. We actually did a video on the off season and then a video on the high season. And I think we actually dive into some of those numbers.
Yeah, but the population just increases.
Yeah. Maybe we need to include some links on those two videos at the end of this video. Okay.
That's your job.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. All right. Should we move to the cool, what do we call this thing? Yeah, this. Slideshow, the slideshow.
Oh, okay.
See, I served it up for you. It's like a volleyball serve, so you could just take it and smash it.
I'm sorry, but I'm a little bit younger than you.
Okay, all right.
Remember
that's not an age. Okay. Oh, so you don't remember slideshows? Okay.
I remember one or two.
Okay. So, the Algarve region of Portugal. Maybe we should have went to this right at the beginning. So if you're not familiar with the Algarve region, or if you're not familiar with where Portugal is, here is a overhead map. Europe on the right-hand side here in the top right, and Portugal there with looking for the white arrows, and down at the bottom there, that's where the Algarve region is. Here's a little bit better close up. This is all of Portugal here and the different areas, and there the Algarve is down in the south. Yes.
with lots and lots of days of sunshine.
Yeah, don't they get like over 300 days of sunshine a year or something like that? It's very sunny there. Our tans were really looking awesome, weren't they?
No, I hid from the sun.
Okay, so when did we visit? Do you know? Oh, I'm hiding it.
We arrived in November and we stayed until either the beginning of April or the very end of March.
What year was that?
Oh, 2022.
Yes, so that was now. Oh my gosh, is that already almost 3 years ago? Time flies.
2 years and some change.
So we arrived there and we were going to be living there for 6 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had seen our place through like a phone conference, like FaceTime, but the FaceTime quality wasn't very good.
Oh, that's right. It kept going out.
Yeah. But it seemed like it was going to be a nice place. We were feeling pretty confident, but we had never been to Portugal before. We'd never been any place. So we'd landed in Lisbon, flew down to Faro, and then we had to rent a car to drive to
Albufeira.
Albufeira. I think it's Albufeira. Anyway, okay. You'd think we would have learned, but we weren't hanging out with a bunch of Portuguese people. Anyway.
Well, it's not like people are saying, "Hi, did you know that you're in the city of Albufeira? Did you know today?"
That's how you
just don't hear it that often.
Let's hear you announce it or pronounce it, and then I would fail. So anyway. So yeah, this is us. And so we got to our place and we were delighted, and we were going to show some pictures in a little bit here. Okay, so if you're traveling to the Algarve region, did a little research here. These are usually the places that people are going, the more popular places. So obviously Albufeira, known for its lively nightlife and family-friendly beaches.
Oh, I have something to say on this.
Yeah, go for it.
Chris found the spot in Albufeira. Like you had really we kind of made the decision on the place together, but you had done more of the research and like, okay, we're going to live in this region. We were working out in Ireland, and the leader of our workout group was like, "Oh, so where are you guys moving in Portugal?" I'm like, "Oh, Albufeira. Ooh, the party city. All right, you're gonna have a lot of fun."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What? I'm moving to a party city? I didn't know I was moving to a party city."
Yeah.
And happily, during off season, it's not much of a party city.
No, and the place we ended up was really in
Ses
Marias thing. All the tough words Melissa will be saying.
I might be mispronouncing them, but I'll mispronounce them with confidence.
It sounded good to me. So it wasn't crazy and it worked out. But that was the first time I'd heard that it's the party capital. So, 30 years ago, Chris would have really liked that, but no, not my thing. So Lagos is over on the west side, amazing beaches. We didn't spend a ton of time there, but it's beautiful. A lot of cool things to do.
I would have liked to have spent more time hiking Ponta de Piedra.
Yeah. Historical charm, a dramatic coastline, and definitely has that. Vilamura, renowned for its luxury marina and golf courses. Now, I'm not...
Did you golf there with your uncle?
I think I was... I think I golfed pretty close to that area, and it was very nice over there, but didn't spend a ton of time there. Faro, the cultural hub, with proximity to the Ria Formosa Nature Reserve, which we did not get to spend time in. It would have been cool. We spent a little time in Faro, maybe a weekend.
We were there for a wine event, and then we went to a really great Polish restaurant called Mio. It's M-Y, I think 'O, and then MEU.
Did we do a video on that?
No.
Okay.
But it was delicious, and I did an Instagram post on it, I think.
And then there's Portimao, and popular for its vibrant marina and expansive
beach.
Yeah,
is that the word you're looking for?
Praia de Roca Beach. Yes, Tavira, which is way on the east side, right next to Spain.
It's a quiet little town, I felt.
Yeah.
Although, of course, we were there during off season. There's an old Roman bridge there. It's very
and definitely some old castles that we visited, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Then there's this area, Carviero, which I don't even know where that was. Oh, that's next to that cave, though.
Oh, Benagium?
Yeah, there's that famous cave.
Okay.
Sagres, we drove there. That's at the end of the world.
That's why I recommend making a road trip. Like maybe all the way from Tavira to Sagres would be super cool.
And Quinta do Lago. I made a mistake here. They should not say Lagos there.
Okay.
Ignore that. Valle de Lobo. Exclusive resort areas with world-class golf and beaches. Not an area that I'm familiar with, but the research said it's a popular place. And then
Monchique.
Monchique. We heard a lot about that. It's an entirely different experience. It's up in the mountains. Would have been cool. There's just not enough time in the day to do all these things.
Because when we were living there, we weren't traveling every day. We were doing work and all of that kind of stuff.
We were actually living, and unfortunately, living does not mean we can go and explore places every day and then do videos or information, like create whatever. You know what I'm trying to get to. So
this is where we stayed in Albufeira at the Oasis Holiday Villas.
Yeah, and it was delightful. It was too much house for us, really. Yeah,
Way too much house.
But we had people come and visit us, and that was great because we could entertain, and that was really cool. But we were so far away trying to find a place that we were going to stay, and we found this. It looked great, and the price was really good in the off season for us. And was it like, I actually don't know, like 2,500 euro a month or something like that.
You did
something like that.
The financials.
But this place is, I think, it's much more expensive during the high season because it's just in demand. You can walk to the beach from here.
It's very nicely kept. Manfred, who owns it, there was one time where a washer went out on us, and he had it replaced the same day. He's like, I can't have you living in the dark ages. And so it was just fixed. It was either the washer or the dryer, or maybe it was both in the same day. I can't remember exactly. But it was fixed so quickly that it didn't create a problem that made me remember. Yeah,
we can't. It was such a nice experience. Mm-hmm. It really was. And it's like you drive up to it, and it's got a gate that opens up, and you go through. So it's all of Portugal I felt was very safe, but this is even safer. It just really so nice. It'd be nice to go back there someday.
Yes.
Should we go back?
Yes.
Okay.
Should we check comments, or are we gonna?
We just have 2.
Oh, okay.
So
we're gonna finish up.
Where you can see.
Okay.
Also, we went back and visited once, and we stayed at a place called the W Algarve,
which is a very nice luxury resort. And we did, while we lived at the Oasis Villas, we had a gym membership. So we would go there pretty regularly and also check out their fabulous restaurant called the Paper Moon. But I believe we're going more into that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So here's a couple pictures look at Melissa's super happy. We checked in, and she got some champagne. I took a picture of just what it looked like inside. And then the views were amazing, pretty close to the ocean. And it was up on a hill, so you could just sunsets were amazing. Obviously, there's tons of great places to stay in the Algarve, and there's a lot of places that you get great ocean views. So, yeah.
It's definitely a luxury, worthwhile experience.
Okay, things to do. So why don't we jump over to the comments?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So we got
Tamara or Tamara.
Let's do this here. I'm going to remove this for a second.
And she says, we did a road trip to Seville, but Faro disappointed. La Gauche and beach caves or beaches are my vibe. Harbors and party scene, no. Oh, we could not agree with you more.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, we liked the one restaurant in Faro, and it was okay, but we didn't spend enough time to get a full sense of it. So I can't say that we loved it or didn't.
No. And there's, certainly in Portugal, we've talked about this before. There's some areas that are what we'd say pretty, you said pretty gritty, like pretty, but there's some grittiness, some
vandalism.
But it never feels unsafe.
Right.
And I think the area that we stayed in Faro was a little bit like that. But it wasn't a negative experience. I just think,
Yeah. But we enjoyed our very brief visit to La Gauche.
Oh,
it's just incredible.
Very beautiful.
Let's see. Eamon says most Irish go there for 10 days or 2 weeks in August. That makes a lot of sense because I did hear a lot of, as I was talking with people that I met, particularly in Kinsale. They're like, oh, Portugal's grand. We love going over there. And then I do remember an Uber driver. I don't think I've shared this on the live stream yet, but I had an Uber driver in Porto who was like, the Irish, we love the Irish. We're the same. We love our poetry. They like their whiskey. We like our wine. Or they like their beer. We like our wine, but we're the same. We love music. He was very sweet and very much like, yes.
Amen says 2,500 a month in the off season, a bit much. You think, I don't know, maybe we see the number. The thing is, I'm horrible at remember the numbers. I'd have to go back and check. I just remember at the time we didn't feel it was crazy, but that might be because
we're used to the United States prices.
And well, actually, when we stayed in Ireland, that's where we were staying before, and definitely I think it was a Airbnb, and that was more expensive than 2,500 a month.
Well, but it was also in Kinsale, which I think is considered one of the more expensive towns to stay in.
Okay, all right. Any more comments? Please write them below.
Yes.
But that's all we have for now. Let's get back to the exciting. Okay, so what to do in the Algarve? So we'd like to kind of cover things that we did. Obviously, there's always more things you could do, but we'll cover some of the things that we did and what we saw. And definitely one of the biggest things about the Algarve is the beaches. They're just amazing. We spent a lot of time. We were fortunate enough to live by a beach, and we would go for strolls, and it was way cool. And just, I kind of miss it when I sit and talk about it and think about it now.
Yes. Strolling along the beach, eating along the beach, hiking above the beach. It was all very nice and relaxing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was quite nice. And, we're from Minnesota, so we do not get beaches like this. And so it was really cool to experience the beaches. So you're definitely going to be able to have a lot of beach time. And if you like that, there's a lot of places you can choose to go.
All right, things to do, eat and drink. Now, this is something that we get very involved with, although most of our information when it comes to where to eat is going to be based in Albufeira.
Yeah, definitely. And so we had some experiences that were really blew us away. This particular picture here is the first meal I had in Albufeira.
Oh, that was at Dom Dennis?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought might as well order a traditional Portuguese steak dish, and this is what I got. It was very good, and those potatoes were delicious.
And that's where we were introduced to the fact that you don't show up at a restaurant at 6 o'clock or 5:30 or whenever it was that we showed up. However, Nelson, the server there, very kindly told us to go hang out in the bar and got us a couple of drinks. He's like, we're still eating, so get out of here.
Yeah, so just if you
in the kindest way.
If you go on vacation there, especially if you're from the United States, you're not going to eat dinner until at least 7. That's the earliest, right?
Right.
All right. So these are some of our favorite restaurants that we went to. And again, this is more around the Albufeira area, right? So definitely we can't cover every restaurant in the area, but Dom Dennis was one of our favorites.
And if you go there, say hi to Nelson for us.
Yeah. Great food, great staff, and certainly Nelson. He's the guy orchestrating everything, and I hope he's still there. He was amazing. He was a ton of fun, lots of laughs. The Windmill Restaurant, have you ever eaten in a windmill? We hadn't.
And you eat in the upper level of it, and there's only a few tables, and no children are allowed, period.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a very quiet, romantic place to dine. We went there, I think, about 6 different times.
It was quite the experience. Paper Moon, that was a very fancy restaurant in the W. Algarve.
Yes.
Hotel. Thanks, hon. And that
if you love Italian food.
Yeah, and we had a lot of great meals there. And then the sommelier, he was awesome. What was
Miguel?
His name? Miguel. I hope he's still there, but he was awesome. They'd always get us some kind of wine that we had never tried before. But it was always amazing.
Yes, I suspect that he's moved on. I think from his social seats.
Oh, okay.
But if he is
Bummer.
there, ask him for which wine to get. He will make these amazing recommendations that you would never think of, where it's like a white wine that goes with a steak and a pasta, but it works because of the strength, and it was so good.
Yeah. And then Restaurante Omigo. Now this was, thank you, Hen.
Yes.
This was actually one of my favorite restaurants. I think it was my favorite restaurant. But they had a cat that was kind of living there.
And I'm allergic to cats.
Yeah, so it was like, oh, we can't hang out there too much. But gosh, I loved the food. It was just this little quaint little place.
And the chef is amazing. He's
Yeah.
super kind. Staff was always very sweet.
Yeah. Another one. Oh, we should back up here. So if you're going to the Algarve in the off season, that is definitely going to affect the restaurants that you can go to, because a lot of them will close down in the off season, in the winter months. Not all of them, but a lot of them will.
From about November through February, mid-March.
Yeah, and it's not like you can't vacation there on those months, but it's not as common.
Right.
To us, it was amazing. The weather was nice, and compared to Minnesota, it was amazing. So, but we did have a little bit of trouble finding restaurants that'd be open sometimes. But so, for instance, Dom Dennis closed. The Windmill Restaurant, that was open.
That stayed open.
That was open the whole time.
Paper Moon stayed open.
Paper Moon stayed open because it was in a hotel.
Amigo closed.
Amigo, yeah, closed. Lusitano, that one stayed open, and that was pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Restaurante o Marinheiro, maybe that's right. That closed also.
Yeah.
And that one has a Michelin Bib Gourmand.
And then the last one was a little restaurant on the beach right by where we were living. And that was just cool because it was on the beach. But it closes in the off season.
Yes, which was a bummer. Now, I did see a question that I think we should circle back to before we go forward. And that was Steve Williams. I'm not too much for laying on beaches, but strolling and hiking are another thing. Can you also venture out and find other types of nature to explore nearby? If you like to go into the ocean, absolutely. Yes, there are great hikes, and they're all over the place. But a lot of people will go on like dolphin watching adventures. They'll go kayaking, do some sup paddle boarding. We were kind of being chickens when we were there. We were like, oh, maybe next weekend. Oh, maybe. No, maybe next weekend.
Minnesota thing. Oceans are kind of intimidating. There are certainly, like in Lagos, there was a trail for walking by that was right by the ocean, and that was really cool. And great views and a lot of cool stuff. I do wish we would have done more hiking when we were there, but we didn't.
Yes.
But yeah, that would be something we would probably have to research a little more to know more about that in certain areas.
Yes.
But certainly you can go to these cities and you can walk around in them. They're very safe, and
they have cool old towns.
Oh, yeah. Cool old towns, cool things to see. It's just quite the experience.
Hey, Carmen. We know Carmen.
Oh, yeah.
I hope you all are doing well and staying warm in Atlanta.
Hi, Carmen.
And that the snow has stopped. What fresh produce was available in the off-season at the markets? Did you attempt to cook Portuguese foods or more American style? And here was my big cheat. So Albufeira did not really have an outdoor food market that I know of. However, they had Apollonia grocery stores, and Apollonias are a lot like Whole Foods. And so they had great fresh produce. And apart from making a pumpkin pie using actual pumpkin instead of canned, I mostly cooked American style there. We did visit a couple of markets in a couple of smaller towns, but that was when we had guests and we just kind of briefly walked through them. I didn't really shop for food while we were there. Yeah.
And we went to some of the big grocery stores, and I always thought their selection was pretty good.
The Continente?
Yeah, the Continente. And
I liked Apollonia.
Yeah, that was nicer. But I think that one, they were both really nice.
That was the one place in kind of near our neighborhood that I felt comfortable driving. So
Next question. DLFH says, how much
have these food experiences influenced what you cook now, and are the dishes you loved so much you cook? Like, do we still make things that we ate there? And I would love to try to make pasta alla nata, but I haven't tried it yet. I would say not that much, in all honesty.
Yeah, a lot of Portuguese food is seafood, and that, we were both allergic to shrimp and shellfish, so that kind of cuts out a bunch of stuff. And then neither of us were raised on fish very much at all, so we have to admit we didn't get that adventurous.
Yeah, I made caldo verde when we were there, and I would make that again, although that was super convenient because they had like a bag of caldo verde stuff to put into a soup pot that you just bought like we buy our mixed salads.
Yeah. So I would say that's kind of and then also I think our lifestyle right now doesn't really contribute to making elaborate meals because we make ourselves too busy.
Yeah, we've got a full travel schedule coming up, so
it makes it crazy.
Although there are also almond cookies that I really want to make. Those almond cookies were so good.
Melissa,
they're called leitada. No, it wasn't the leitada.
I'm all for that.
They were so good. Oh, Carmen says, here.
Okay, all right. I believe they're like living there now, right?
Well, they were in Atlanta. They also have a house there or an apartment there. Right. The Portuguese soups are so good. I've been making them here this winter. Tons of veggies, and that all of the vegetables are so fresh. I do like bouillon or mercado do bouillon. I miss.
Okay. Okay.
And then Luis Alves says that's how we do caldo verde.
All right, back to my slideshow. Okay, and so these are some of the restaurants. So this dish on the left here's from the Windmill Restaurant. Look at how fancy that, and it was super fancy. Look at those potatoes. Yeah, we should try to make our potatoes look like that, honey. Come on, let's do it. And then here's a meal at the Paper Moon.
Yeah, I think that's when we were at a wine tasting.
Oh, yeah, that was like a truffle. Oh, that was good.
And I would say, back to the question on like how has like what we ate there influenced how we eat now, I would say the wine had more of an influence. Like when we see a glass of port wine on a menu, we are going for it. We shared a glass of port wine last night. The Taylor's 20 year.
And then here's a meal at the Amigo. Oh, that was good stuff. Remember that, honey?
The gnocchi, yes.
Yeah, it was a kind of
and then the beef Wellington at the Dom Dennis.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. They had little hearts on that little Wellington. Look at that. Cool. Okay, other things to do. Oh, you can party. Here, come on. I'm going to show a video. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I know what this is.
Here's Melissa. Here, wait. Hang on a second. I'm gonna hide this. Here we go. Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo. Melissa, that was amazing.
Thank you, dear. To be fair, one other person was dancing with me.
But they didn't want to be on camera. I was kind of dancing when I was filming it, honey. I was. So that was at a bar in Albufeira in the off season, and that's what it looks like. Normally during the high season, that would be packed and be crazy there.
Yes, and our friends Bart and Deidre explained that it's not very ageist there, so that we could feel comfortable going out and dancing and not feel like we were too old to be in a club.
But seriously, like about 30 seconds after that dancing by Melissa, the floor was packed. I don't know where the people came from, but they were like, they could feel her party energy. You're so impressive, honey. So impressive.
Oh, my Chris.
Hey, if you guys want to watch it again, just, say in the comments below. Okay, certainly the Algarve in Portugal have a ton of history. Just everywhere there's history. And yeah, so if you go to the Algarve, you're going to be able to go to all these different areas to check out the history. Castles and
That first image was in
churches.
Tavira. This is in Silvish.
Yeah.
And that was a very cool castle to get to tour. We did the self-guided reading things tour, and it was beautiful.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of way up high, and it's away from the ocean, but it's kind of up in the mountains, or it's around mountains. So it was very scenic, obviously very green, as you can see. So we definitely enjoyed that. And we'll get to this a little bit, but there are a lot of wine areas around that.
Oh yeah,
that area, a lot of wine vineyards and things like that. And then the end of the world here on the left here, as just look at the picture that you're at the end of the world. It's, if you were to leave and go out that way, you'd go to the end of the world. And that's what they used to think back in the day.
That nothing existed beyond that horizon.
Yeah. So it's really cool to actually go to that spot and look out and just imagine what people thought back then. It's just like, whoa.
And Fort Sagres is right there.
Yeah, and that too is cool, really cool. At the Fort Sagres, they had that. What were they called again? Those wind, the holes in the ground, and you could hear the water underneath from all the erosion.
That's a really good question. I cannot pull the answer right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go there and you'll see them. It's really, it's so cool, because every 30 seconds, all of a sudden, you'll hear these waves and these booms, and then all this air will come up. Whoosh. We did a video on it.
Right.
And you can see it there, but that was really cool.
Yes, and that was our big road trip video.
And then
awesome.
Tavira out on the east side of the Algarve, definitely a lot of history there. There's some castles there that we roamed around. We brought company that came to visit us.
Aunt and uncle.
Yes. Uncle Dean and Aunt Pat came out. And just a lot of history. And Portugal's full of it. There's Roman history there. I don't know, down in the Algarve there probably
there's a Roman bridge in Tavira.
Oh yeah. So yeah, there's Roman influence. It's just so.
And this is a great place to go and grab a meal and like relax. It was like right by the river, right, where we had the chicken, and it's so affordable and so delicious. And we were all just shocked that we had 4 of us had 3-course meals.
No, that was actually in
Was that in Silvish?
Yeah, that was here.
Are you sure?
When we ate outside and had chicken. Yep.
I wish Aunt Pat were watching. I think she might correct you.
She would go, Chris is always right.
No.
She's okay. All right. So obviously you're going to get to see a lot of history coming to the Algarve. The Algarve is one of the most popular destinations for golf in Europe, from what I read. Supposedly there's 42 golf courses in the Algarve. We went golfing in the off season. As you can see, this is my uncle about ready to hit the ball, and he did kick my butt that day. But yeah, you can see it's like you can be. When did they come out? Like, was that in February?
It was January.
January. So this is January. So yeah, you can golf in January, and the course was beautiful. It was a good time.
Yeah, they were with us. I think January 4th to the 18th, or 5th to the 19th.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. And things to do. Okay, so the vineyards were really cool. So I think the wine in Portugal is amazing everywhere. And there's different regions where they make the wine. Supposedly the Algarve region isn't as well known for its wine.
Right. It's kind of the less loved or the newer producer on the street.
Yeah.
I have talked to a wine store owner who's like, I love Algarve wines, and more people should know about them. And yeah, these vineyards, well, this one, Quinta dos Valles, was a lot of fun to visit. Tons of artwork, as you can see. And there you can make your own wine. Like it's an extended program. It does cost a bit. but you can have your own wines bottled and either keep them and hand them out to friends as gifts, or even try to sell them.
Yeah,
but it gets complicated.
It was very interesting, but certainly very enjoyable thing to do is to go and visit these vineyards. Just it was a nice experience, and I thought the wine was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And so did our guests.
Yeah, it was really good. So we went to this spot, and then we went to Morgado
do Quintão.
And this place was really cool. There's like a 2,000-year-old olive tree, which I'm standing here pointing to or gesturing to. And that's just really cool to sit there and think you're looking at a tree that is 2,000 years old and sitting under it and drinking some very tasty wine. And that was quite a nice experience doing that as well. There were people from all over the world there eating with us. Somebody from, was it Denmark?
Yep, it was a couple from Denmark. I can't remember where the other folks were from.
Yeah, it's England and something like that. But it was a lot of fun. So that's definitely something you can do if you go to the Algarve. Obviously, you have to travel these locations, but they're very easy to get to. We went to another place I'm not remembering, but that was also fun.
We have a video on the three of them.
Oh, yeah.
And then Carnival in Laule.
Yeah, so this is an off-season event, or it's because it's in February, right?
Well, it changes each year in accordance to when Easter is, because it's Fat Tuesday or Shrove Tuesday. And so this year, I was just checking, I believe it starts February 27th and goes to March 3rd, March 4th, something like that is when the Tuesday is. But it's Fat Tuesday. You're supposed to eat it, have those pancakes.
So it was a very unique experience for us to go to this event, and there's a big parade, and just seeing the parade, which we also did a video on if you want to go deeper into what it's like. That was a fun day.
Oh, it was fantastic. Here in America, we're so used to parades that are all about throwing candy to children and showing off your business, because that's how people know about your business. So it's always those sorts of floats. Whereas when we were at Carnival in Laule, it was all about these great visuals of people dancing and the costumes. Like you can see these Jensen and performances, and really the adults were having a great time. I would say it was even Stevens between adults and kids. And I didn't notice as many children. I mean, clearly they were there, but it was entertaining for all ages.
Yeah, and there were some floats that had very like global political.
Oh yeah, the geopolitical stuff.
Yeah, geopolitical things. It was just like, whoa! It was really neat to see. And if you're in the Algarve region during that time, I would definitely advise going to check that out. I'd go to that again.
Yes, as would I.
All right. That's it. That was the last.
Oh, that was the last slide. I'm like waiting in anticipation. Like, what's he going to put on next?
No,
what's he going to put on next?
No, that's all you get.
Sorry, all right. Honey. Shall we check the comments?
Yeah, let's jump over to the comments, and then it's going to be quiz time. So get your brains fired up.
Oh my golly!
But no cheating, okay? I know in this world we can Google and we can chat GPT for the answers. Okay, here we go. Did we do this one? Nope. The soup. Okay, we do that one. Okay, That's how we do it. Okay, here's where.
There's markets with fresh products everywhere, Luis says. Okay. And then, Luis, is there any particular town you would most recommend for them?
Well,
because we kind of stop by. Well, yeah, but just in case there's like a best one so that folks know. Eamon says that Mel got the moves. Where was Chris's dad moves?
They're right here.
They can't even see your arms. You're just like,
here.
There you go.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to dance. Well, I'm getting too old to dance. Don't move. Things don't move like they used to.
Okay, it looked like you both had such a great time going to that celebration. Would you say it was one of your top event experiences in Portugal?
Yeah,
I would say one of them.
São João would be. That's probably the top one.
Sao Joao, this. And then also New Year's Eve in Lisbon was fantastic. As far as the events, we did try a 3-day rock concert event, and we realized we are maybe too old and too American for it to keep up because, oh my golly.
Some of it was
folks cool. At that place. I mean, major headliner bands weren't hitting until about midnight.
Yeah.
And I think the concert went until like 3 or 4 in the morning.
But if they would have had really cool bands nonstop, then we would have been fed energy to be able to do it. But they would put in these.
There aren't bands cool enough to keep me awake that long.
Well, there are for me.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Otherwise, we'll get into quiz time. You guys ready?
Right.
Your fingers ready to do some quiz? It's going to be exciting. Melissa loves quiz time.
I don't know any of these in advance. Sometimes I accidentally see something.
Yeah, and sometimes you accidentally give away the answers when you're talking. And I'm like trying to like.
Hey, did you see my Anthony Edwards look?
Okay. Right.
Who knows who Anthony Edwards is? That's my quiz.
Oh God. Who knows what he is?
No, who he is.
Yeah, you said what he is.
I said who he is.
Review the tape. Reverse.
I said who knows who
Rewind.
Anthony Edwards is.
Okay, let's get to the quiz. Okay, people are just waiting at the edge of their seats. Okay.
I'm gonna check your ears.
Okay. At a carnival parade in Lule, they throw out candy? See, didn't Melissa say give it away?
I didn't know that. See,
yes
you don't show
or
me
no?
The questions in advance.
The first one to get it wins. Yes or no? Doon, 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 doon. We have firsthand knowledge if they throw out candy or not. Eamon wins. Way to go, Eamon. Oh, Carmen's close second.
Yeah.
Close second.
Right,
Carmen's probably like, I was so close to winning. We need to come up with prizes. I think that's what we need to do. Okay, next one.
A carnival parade in Lale. Do parade participants have to wear clothes? True, false, or depends?
All right. Let's see who gets the right answer here, because we've got some tidbits of information here. No candy poo.
Sorry, Janine.
Depends.
I'm thinking that I don't know the answer.
I don't know if true, false is maybe the best words, but let's just see. I'm not going to give.
Steve says false. Eamon says true.
How about yes, no, or depends? Who writes these questions?
It's okay, honey. We're already to it.
Okay. Do paraders have to wear clothes? Do they have to? True, they have to. False. False would be the right answer, because as we were watching the parade, all of a sudden a float comes by and it's like, they are not wearing any clothes. They've got makeup on and things on.
Well, there's painting.
There's paint on, but that's not clothing. They were naked. And as a Minnesotan from the United States, I'm like,
Chris was shocked.
They're naked. And I'm like, I shouldn't look.
Well, but did they have like Las Vegas-y tassels on or nothing? Because I can't remember.
We're talking downtown. We're not just up top.
That's right.
Everything. Yeah. It was like.
Downtown. Oh, my middle-aged shy husband.
So, yeah, just people riding on the floats. And naked. It wasn't like every float.
It wasn't gratuitous. Like it looked artful.
Yes.
Like it didn't shock me.
I was like, that was art.
I was not offended.
Look at the
art.
About that? Look at the art.
And also, there will be nakedness on beaches.
Oh yeah, yeah, we saw that. We should have said that. Yes.
I just did say it.
We encountered nakedness on the beaches in the Algarve.
Yeah.
Because it's Europe. And things are different there
than in Minnesota.
There's not nakedness on the beaches in Minnesota. Paint is clothing. There we go.
Eamon says paint is clothing. So
okay, if Eamon says so, it must be. All right, next question. Did Magellan attend Prince Henry the Navigator Center for Maritime Studies Yes, no, or maybe.
And the Center for Maritime Studies would be at Fort Sagres.
Exactly. This is exciting. Is this exciting? We should maybe put like game music on. I got to look up for game music.
All right, next time.
Next time. Let's keep. Okay, everyone likes it. All right. I think, you know what? It's taking
Eamon says yes.
It's taken so long. I'm kind of thinking.
Steve says maybe. These are genuine answers.
You're Googling.
Janine says no.
Look at this.
All right, Chris, are you ready for your big reveal?
My big reveal. Here's the deal. Most people, most experts think no. He did not go to this maritime study. They feel he learned all about his navigating by Navy and learning on it.
Right. Because how would you teach somebody to stop while standing out in the river? Defies logic according to a lot of historians. However, the story has been in Portugal that this place did exist where Magellan and Columbus learned.
Prince Henry, the navigator, and there was
and there are some signs there that indicate that we did, but there are things that we've read that say, no, didn't happen.
And didn't we learn that supposedly when Portugal was under a dictatorship, that story was pushed because it's interesting.
Oh, I'm not hearing you over the Thank you, Carmen.
Turn down the music! All right. Let me get back to it. Oh.
Okay, that should be better. Yeah? Okay.
How's that? Okay. Maybe we needed to talk about it. Okay.
The music is cutting out your voices a bit. Steve concurs.
Okay, how's that now, guys? Can you hear us now?
Better.
There we go. See, we're all learning here.
Better's not perfect, though.
We're all learning here. Okay, we're all learning. All right, next one. You ready for the next one, then?
Yeah. I know this one.
What does Melissa's abbreviated name mean? Mel. And mean in Portuguese. Who edits this stuff? I thought you looked it up. No, you didn't actually see this.
I did not.
All right, sorry.
You're in charge.
2 typos. Okay.
Chris is in charge of Travel
What
Talk
does her
Tuesdays.
name mean? A. Chips. B. Snazzy. C. Honey. D. Melting.
Like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh, this one.
I'm melting.
Oh, there's a hint. Okay.
Thank you to DLFH for guessing B, Snazzy.
There. Hubby says melting. All right, first guess. Hubby says melting. Guessing B, Snazzy. Steve guesses C. Honey. Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
Steve, you win. You win a year's supply of honey. I'm just kidding. You don't win that. Right?
You're so mean.
What?
You tease.
For like a half a
tell
second.
people they win something, you take it away.
For a half a second, he was like, a year's supply of honey. Okay,
yes, and Eamon also got it right.
Yes, good job, Eamon. I'm sure that because you had to type all the way from Ireland, it took a little longer to get in, and that's how Steve was able to sneak in.
From California.
Yeah, it's just not fair.
And the Janine says, I love that honey.
Yes, and Melissa is very sweet. I do call her honey all the time. In fact, I think I just do all the time in the video. In our conversations. Okay.
Do we have another question?
Oh, look at you. You're all excited.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hang on. I got to get to it. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, this is a hard one.
Oh.
All right. I might have to say Carmen, though, or anybody from Portugal is not eligible for this quiz, as you probably know.
But if people gain knowledge by being the places.
If you bump into someone in Portugal by accident, what should you say? A, get moving, you klutz. B, desculpe. C, back off, bro. D, pepino, senor.
You delight yourself sometimes, don't you?
Just a little.
Cucumber, sir?
Shh. You just gave it away. Someone was going to guess that.
No one was going to. Okay,
See,
someone was going to guess it.
Eamon guessed it. Pepino, senor.
And then Alicia obviously has it. The school.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Way to go. And B, B was described.
I think so.
Yeah.
You wrote the
Yes,
quiz.
look at that.
Aw. Carmen says, I delayed and use it all the time on the metro.
Yes. It is a great word. School. The school.
The school. Was I sorry about that? I don't know.
That you kind
Now
of
the
seemed.
school
No,
for you.
you didn't seem like you really cared.
Poor Chris.
All right, guys, that's all the quiz questions I have. Do you guys want me to make more quiz questions in the next Travel Talk Tuesday? Here's your chance to
Weigh in?
weigh in. Yes, talking is hard.
Especially when you're also running the system.
Yeah, we need staff. That's what we need to hire staff that wants to do this. They are fun. Oh, great.
All right,
I would say that's one vote.
And one vote's more than none.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, do you know what our next Travel Talk Tuesday will be? Coming up in 2 weeks?
Do you know?
Yes.
Oh, do you? Then you should say it.
Okay, 'cause I think we agreed on it. Hopefully you don't disagree on it. Dublin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yay. So
Fun way to wrap
DLFH
up.
also.
Defo.
All right, you've got lots of votes for your quiz time, Chris.
Okay, so maybe I'm going to try to up it to like 10 questions or something. I think what's important is I have to give multiple choice. So if I leave it open, then it takes longer. So,
All right.
yeah, so maybe we'll get more questions next time. Yeah. Wow, we're already at past.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
wait,
it's time to wrap things
we're
up.
going to do Dublin, right?
Dublin.
Didn't we do a Travel Talk Tuesday on Ireland?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to try to dive deeper into Dublin. Not that I know a ton about Dublin. So if you know a lot about Dublin, I bet you Eamon knows.
Oh, well, yes.
So Eamon, you're going to be our
You're
going to be our consultant, and you might have to be saying a lot of things in the comments. Okay.
Sorry. Melissa's moving
Will
ahead.
you quit? Be in the moment.
I get so excited when I see it. Well, I was in the moment. I was getting excited about what Carmen typed. Thanks for the fun talk about
You know what? I'm
so beautiful
I'm gonna
Portugal.
hide the
Looking forward
comments.
to hearing about that.
Okay, so with our software, Melissa can see the comments that are coming in before I put them up on the board, so you guys can see them. And then she's just
I love people. I love to interact with people.
we're gonna.
You're a person, and I love interacting with you too. But sometimes I get distracted by other people. That's why I just sit in the front of the classroom.
Oh, okay. This is a great question.
2 weeks,
DLFH,
right?
2 weeks. So here's the deal. We would love to do. I think it'd be cool to do these weekly, but it's just with what we've got going on. It's just too difficult and demanding to fit them in.
So yes, in 2 weeks.
If we get to the point where travel is our full-time job, I bet you we could do it weekly, but we can't. And then in 2 weeks, though, we will actually be traveling. So we're going to try to do it as we're traveling.
Right, we're going
All
to
right.
be coming to you from Michigan.
Yeah, on laptop. It's going to be a whole different. I've got to remember to bring everything.
You can do it. We're going to make a checklist. Eamon says he's banned from the Dublin quiz. Yes.
Well, you
are
might
banned, sir.
you might be Eamon, but maybe what I'll do is there'll all be like questions about Melissa and her experience in Ireland. So maybe.
You know what would be fun though is I should try to find a question that could possibly stump you. we lived in Kinsale. The gentleman that styled my hair used to play "How Well Do You Know Your Country" with me, and so I'll try to find a question that will stump you. Well, he stumped me easier about America than I will you about Dublin, but I'll try.
America's just very smart. Oh, DLFH, I need to set in one. Yeah, just go in your calendar right now. Maybe what we need to do.
Notifications.
Maybe we need to like have people get on our mailing list and we send out a notification every time. Maybe we need to do that too. But yeah.
Newsletter in progress.
Yeah, just follow us. We always try to give reminders. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Give it a try.
I am going to try.
Hey, thank you everyone for checking in. If you have any travel needs or you know somebody that has travel needs, Melissa's pretty good at planning travel, so reach out to us. She can help you.
Yes, and we have some group tours coming up, but we'll talk about that next time because we're already well past it.
Oh, wait, we had somebody else.
I meant to get in on the end. Oh, we're glad you made it as well, Judy.
All right, 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now. Yes, thanks everyone for watching. It has been fun. Okay, see you. Bye, Melissa.
Bye, Chris. It's been nice seeing you.
High fives. Bye, guys.